SupremeRAID by Graid Technology is the world's first GPU-accelerated software RAID. It delivers unmatched storage performance and resiliency for your most demanding workloads. In this video, we will demonstrate how to take a Linux server with NVMe drives and create a RAID-protected volume that spans multiple physical drives. Please note that if this were a Windows server with Graid software, the process for doing this in the GUI would be exactly the same. First, let's look at the SSDs in this server that we want to use. When running an lsblock command in Linux, we can see each individual SSD is visible to the operating system. There are 10 drives visible in this server. If this were a Windows server, then you would see all the individual drives listed in Windows Disk Manager. To get to the GUI, you will need to add port 560 at the end of the IP address in the browser. The dashboard is displayed first. Here, you will see any urgent errors highlighted, a performance overview, GPU metrics such as temperature, as well as CPU and memory utilization. If we click on the NVMe Drives tab, we can see those 10 NVMe drives we previously saw from the CLI. The next step is to create Graid physical drives, which are also known as PDs. Here, we create 10 PDs. At this point, if we were to run that same CLI command, those 10 drives will no longer be listed, because Graid has now taken ownership of them. The next step in the process is to create a Graid drive group, also referred to as a DG. When you do this, first you have to specify the RAID level. We will choose RAID 5. Then, we need to select the physical drives, or PDs, to be part of this drive group. You can have up to 8 DGs on a Linux server and 4 on a Windows OS. If you have 2 Graid GPUs in the server, then you can also specify which GPU will be the preferred controller. Once the drive group has been created, we are then ready to move on to the next step. Now it is time to create the virtual drive, also referred to as a VD. To do this, we go to the Virtual Drive tab, hit the Create button, and select the drive group that you want the VD to belong to. As we specified RAID 5 for drive group 0, any VD put on this drive group will be protected by RAID 5. The final thing to decide is how big to make the virtual drive. This can be the size of the entire drive group, or you can create multiple, smaller virtual drives. The virtual drive has now been created, so let's show you what it looks like to the OS. If you run an lsblock in Linux, you can see here that the virtual drive appears as GDG0N1, and we can see it is 32 terabytes in size. This should be familiar to all system administrators, and it is from here that you can put a file system on the block device, mount it, and use it as required. If this were a Windows OS, you would see it in the Disk Management app. This concludes our introduction to the SupremeRAID GUI. We hope you found it useful. You can learn more about SupremeRAID on our website at graidtech.com.